Greetings, everyone. My name is Luis Molina, and I'm the host of the Life Puro podcast. In today's conversation, I talked to our producer, Nick Frewin, to get his insight into his experience during his time here producing our podcast for us. So with that, we introduce Nick Frewin.
What is up?
What's up, man?
Hello. I was kind of worried you were going to say my last name wrong. Most people do. They say Frewin. I don't know.
Frewin, yeah.
They say Frewin, which that's probably how I would say it if it wasn't my last name.
So what is that origin? Of the last name?
It's Saxon. Like, I know my family's from Britain, but I think it's like the Germanic Saxons that came up. We have like a family crest and stuff. But it's like a blue and white. It's like a half lion and then some like coat of arms. And we have a really shitty family motto. I don't know it in Latin, but I know what it means. It means I'm not one to change, which is cool if you start off from like a good place, you know what I mean? But if like if you're like a loser for your first 15 years, you know what I mean? Like, fuck.
You're stuck.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck. It's not
that's your lot in life.
Not a lot of improvement going on in that realm. But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's Saxon.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like the people that invaded Britain.
You know, I should ask that question of all our guests now, because I know the first guest we had was Greyhawk. We had a little discussion about last names and what the meanings of that.
Well, it's not even just names. I mean, like I guess your surname, your last name, that tells a lot for where you're from. But also, like for Greyhawk, your first name means something. For him, I think it was like a behavior they noticed, or that's how we explained it. For me,
character traits,
yeah. But also even just like regular names have like Nick means victory, and the Nicholas means victory of the people. So like there's like meanings behind the names. Don't think my parents knew that. I think they just like Nickelodeon, to be honest with you. They were 80s kids, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I was just named after Nick at Night.
Yeah. Nice, man.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining me today.
Absolutely. I love this podcast. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. So I guess let's start with the cigars. I know you really, when you came here, started with us, you weren't really a premium cigar smoker.
I wouldn't even say I was a cigar smoker.
Yeah.
I definitely have upped up. I feel sometimes my friends will ask me about cigars that I have in my house. I just feel superior. You know what I mean? I just feel like I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm farther ahead in life.
Different class of person.
Yeah. They're like, can I have one? I'm like, I guess so. I have so many now. Like the Camachos. I don't remember because I got like 5 of them. I remember me and my roommate smoked a couple of those. And he's been smoking cigars longer than me because that's a thing in Louisiana. I guess a lot of high schools, but like you smoke cigars when you graduate. You know what I mean? Or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. A lot of schools. Which I'll get into that. We used to, so when the age was 18, we used to sell cigars to the high school seniors that were graduating, especially from Catholic.
Yeah, that's where my roommate went.
Yeah, so they had a tradition where the seniors would smoke cigars, and it was cool. Like every year we'd see them around the same time. The parents would come in with them sometimes, or if they were 18, they were legal.
Yeah,
but then the age increased to 21. But the tradition was still stuck.
Yeah, I know.
And so, man, I felt so bad for those guys. It wasn't even like a matter of like losing sales. It was just, it was sad. Yeah, it was sad to see that.
I'm sure they still figure it out.
Well, so that's the thing. It's like,
but you don't condone that.
Well, we can't. If we know someone's buying for someone underage, there's a law. It's sales via proxy. If we know that someone's buying for someone else that's underage, we can't sell even to that legal person.
So
that caused a lot of like tension. It's like, well, I'm legal, but that's a law. Like
and you can tell that like they have a friend sitting outside or they're trying. That cut. So how was this cut?
I think it's good.
It was a good cut.
Yeah,
I can tell.
Sufficient. So that's the thing. If the way we understood the law is if someone comes in, so we make it to where if you're inside the premises, you're legal, right?
Yeah.
But if someone's outside. Oh, that's the wrong side, actually. I thought you meant the cut.
Oh, oops.
Hey, that's all right. No, smoke it the other way. Yeah. See how it is. There's actually a cigar made from ground Habano where you can smoke at either end. Like they want you to.
So what was so the difference on here besides the cut of how it's going to smoke differently for me is the fact, like, is it packaged differently?
It could be.
It could be.
Yeah.
We're gonna find
Most
out.
of the time, but it's not. It's just it's not going to smoke the way the manufacturer intended.
Hey,
it's not wrong. You can still smoke it.
That's true. Well, we're going to smoke it.
Yeah. I'm going to actually smoke one of these later that other way and see how they smoke.
The Frewin way.
The Frewin way.
The Frewin way.
Yeah. No, but going back to the issue with sales via proxy, if someone stays outside, well, we don't know if they're legal or not. Yeah. They could just be waiting. So there's nothing like, it's not our job to like, if they're outside the doors.
Okay.
Now, but if someone comes in, we check everyone's IDs.
So if they come in and you see they're 18, and then they go wait outside, and their friend buys them.
Well, we wouldn't know if they're 18 if they don't have an ID. They'll just have to step outside. But once a lot of people just end up talking and explaining, like, well, I'm buying for my high school senior.
Yeah, don't say that.
Well, yeah, don't say that.
Okay.
Now I have a suspicion. Although I guess there could be 21-year-old seniors,
Yeah.
but that's not.
I saw a story that the other day. There was this girl in Maryland who got arrested for having a gun in her backpack, and she was 18 and as a sophomore.
What?
Yeah, apparently.
18 as a sophomore. So I guess it could happen.
Well, yeah, if you fail
It's
enough.
a weird thing, but like once people start giving too much information, if they just say, "Oh, I don't have my ID,"
Yeah,
all
stop
right, we'll
talking.
go. And that's
Yeah,
it.
Just
Don't try to like talk to the other person. Now it sounds like I'm giving tips on how to.
Yeah, we don't condone that. But I feel
I'm just saying from our standpoint,
Yeah.
like if we know that you're buying for someone underage and you're
gonna-
legal, I
yeah.
can't sell to you now.
Well, yeah, because it's a liability thing at that
Mm-hmm.
point.
But it's one of those things like it's not even enforced, but we follow everything by the books. you
Might
know?
as well,
It's our,
you know
it's,
what I
our,
mean?
it's our livelihood. you
Well,
know?
yeah, because I mean, like you said, it's your livelihood, it's your business. You're not going to help out one kid. You know what I mean? Also,
Mm-hmm.
because just don't be dumb. Just be. You know, I feel like a lot of people in scenarios like that, they talk more because they feel like it'll make them look less suspicious. You know what I mean? Like they're
Right.
trying to like comfort themselves,
Yeah.
but
And they're being too honest. Like
they're being too honest. Yeah,
their honesty is unfortunately a detriment.
yeah. So don't be honest. Just,
Yeah.
just be
Just be
quiet.
quiet. Just be
yeah.
quiet.
Because
Yeah.
mute people buy cigars too. Probably. I don't know if y'all, maybe y'all do. And I feel like, and it's just, I'd be like, I'm mute. I'd write it on a piece of paper, say, I want a cigar. That's how I'm going to do it. Well, I'm
Yep.
21, thankfully.
Yeah.
I turned 18. They made that law 2 weeks before I turned 18 because it went into effect in like December.
Yeah, it
It
was
was-
December. What year was that?
I don't know. I guess
When were you 18?
when I turned 18, 2020, I guess, because I was born in
Yeah.
2002. So
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago.
Yeah, no, yeah, I remember because I was excited to buy cigarettes, even though I don't smoke cigarettes, but it was gonna be like a cool thing. I was gonna like get
Legally, you could
I was
buy
gonna
it.
get a girlfriend because of it. Like I planned it all out, and then they literally put it off. If they literally changed it like 2 weeks before, and I was like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So instead, I started playing chess.
Yeah. So we have a little different setup today. You want to explain to the
Yeah,
crowd?
this is
what this is about?
so yeah, we have. I'm a big chess player. Lewis knows I love playing chess. A little too much. I'm kind of a nerd about it. I'm not very good. Yeah, and so I play. So I'm in the LSU chess club, and I play some of the real good players, and they absolutely donk me. It's kind of embarrassing, but I love playing chess. I don't have enough people. Like my roommates won't play with me anymore, or they play very limited. Like I have to ask them all the time. They'll play like 1 or 2 games with me. But we're here to play chess today because Lewis wants to play. I would like to play. Habana Port has this very nice chess set, which I never see anybody use. Unfortunately, I wish.
I know.
I feel like it'd be much cooler if there was consistently guys playing chess back there. I would just come for that, to be honest with you. So the way it usually works is white goes first. Now between these pieces, I'm gonna assume I'm the white pieces because it's supposed to be white and black. And so we're gonna play 2 games. One me with white, one you with white, because the person with white should win. Always. Like the person who makes the first move has the advantage.
Because they have the first move.
Yeah,
right.
the best move in chess is the next move. So now that usually I'm probably the win rate is like 56% of games white wins. You know what I mean? If
Okay.
I'm just like off
So
my
slight
head.
advantage,
Yeah,
though.
slight advantage, but that's only if you play perfectly. So like when they have AI bots play each other, it usually draws out, but the white one has the advantage. Like if you and I played perfectly right now, it'd probably be a draw.
So wait, to go back, because I still get confused with this set.
Yeah.
You have a clear and then a slight, like a more opaque.
Yeah, more opaque. And I'm saying
This, I would
you
say
think
this is black.
Okay, then you can go. You can be white if
Well,
you want.
no.
No, you're good. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good with that. You can
And
be.
then,
I don't wanna,
yeah, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
And then the clear is white.
Well, then if that's
the clear
case,
squares are white. The opaque is black, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess we could assign
No,
whatever, as long as we decide what's what.
Yeah. No, I don't. Personally, it doesn't really matter to me. I just like to switch it whenever I play somebody. I play 2 games
Should
with
it
them.
be queen on her color?
If we're switching it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
And I am in no way an expert or advanced, so I'm expecting to lose. But I like to play people better than me.
I like
Just so
playing,
I can learn.
Yeah, I like playing people worse than me, better than me, same as me. Like not. I'm just a big fan of it. I like playing a lot of board games though, not just chess. So we're playing your white.
Yep.
Okay,
So I
then-
guess I have the first move.
Yeah, your
then.
first
Okay.
move whenever.
And then while we're playing, I'll ask you questions. So
what
you can multitask.
So the opening you're playing there is called the Sicilian. Well, it's the Sicilian if I play it. It's called the Sicilian defense. It's actually one of my favorite defenses because there's a bunch of different openings, like per moves, like different names for them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And a bunch of different ways to play.
So my middle brother Carlos, he was a bigger chess player. He was part of some chess club, and I always remember him telling me like, "This is always a pretty good."
It's not.
Good
That's
move.
not bad. No. So you were basically playing the Sicilian as white. I
didn't know that was the name of that move. Opening though.
I don't know if it's called that when you're white opening it. I know if you're the black opening, like if I played that as black, you would call it the Sicilian. I'm pretty sure because basically it has the same fundamental idea. Like as each of these moves all have like a set like plan. You know what I mean? So.
So
it's not okay.
I guess to give people some insight, if you're listening to this
if you're listening
on
to
audio,
this,
it's probably better to watch the YouTube version.
You
or
can
Spotify.
watch the YouTube video version. That's probably the best way if you want to interact with it. But also, we plan on just having a conversation throughout this at some point once we get a little more into the game.
Yeah, we'll probably.
So check out the video, guys. If you don't know, we have a YouTube channel, or you can watch it on Spotify. Spotify, you can also watch the video. Tap in with us here at Habana Port.
That's your radio.
Yeah, that is my radio coming out a little bit of SpotCheck coming out. I'm gonna.
So yeah, let me ask you that about. So we hired you. We needed a podcast producer
4 or 5 months ago.
You want to recount how we met?
Yeah, I got an email in my. So I unfortunately have I have 4 emails that I use for work and school and everything like that. But. So I work at KLSU. KLSU is the college radio station at Louisiana State University here in Baton Rouge. I've been managing the station for the last year and a half now. And so I have an email, station manager at lsu.edu. So that's where everybody hits me up for business regarding KLSU. And so one day I got an email from Habana Port, and it was something along the subject line of saying video, audio, production needed. It was just kind of like a query looking if we, because it makes sense.
Yeah, we were asking people like, hey, do you know, like I was emailing the station manager. Yeah. Unbeknownst to me, it was you.
Yeah, just trying
asking,
to find
hey,
out.
does anyone in your station want to intern for us? Yeah.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I remember seeing that, and I kind of. Because so KLSU we've got into podcasting, like really got into podcasting recently underneath my time as station manager. So I was like, it's something I've been practicing a lot of. So I was like, and I knew nobody else was gonna want to do that gig. So I was like, okay. So I reached back out.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, reached back out to you, and I think I came in the next day to like check out this office, which is so foreign to me at the time. Now it's a lot. Well, also because I don't think this was in here.
Yeah, that wasn't up here.
Yeah, this wasn't here yet. It was more like a closet back then. But now it's filled out. But yeah, since then must have been what, May? So that was what, 5?
Yeah, about May or
5 months ago. 5 months ago now. And here we are, working here since, making Life Puro.
Yeah.
So you guys, and if you're listening to this, you probably listened to other episodes. So that's probably an episode that I've worked on. So let me know what y'all think. I love when people comment on our YouTube and they're asking about like we had the guy who commented recently. He was talking about you as a guest and how you were a good interviewer. You know what I mean? I love the comments that are a lot more interactive. And they talk about. They're more focused on like the production and you as a host and just the guest. Because the guest ones, I love those comments too, but they're here because of that person, right? But when they're commenting on the production
like the
value,
technicals, huh?
Yeah, the technicals, I'm like that always makes me like, oh, okay, cool. People,
that's why we needed someone like you because that was all foreign to me. So
yeah.
I can help with the hosting and the content, but we need someone like you.
You've been trying to do this for a while, right? What's the story for the Life Puro? Like how did this start for you? What makes you want to do this podcast? What do you enjoy about doing this podcast?
So we had the idea of doing a podcast about 5 or 6 years ago, and I actually recorded some interviews way back then with some people like Liana Fuente from Arturo Fuente.
Tom Lazuka, right?
Yeah, even did Tom Lazuka before like the formal, like the Life version 2. But I didn't know how to produce, how to upload.
Like, what did you record it with?
It was a Tascam recorder. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
Tascam? Yeah.
Okay.
So we still have those files.
Yeah, I think I saw those files when I first got into everything. Yeah, because you guys had a lot of stuff already done for it.
But we just didn't actually execute. Like because I didn't know how to.
That's the hardest part. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, like a podcast is in its essence, the creation of it, not hard, but it's like called Spot. So,
nice.
But yeah, I do that podcast. That's been like a little passion project of mine for the last, probably did that the entire time I worked here. Same amount of episodes, I think. I think we're at like 13, 14.
Okay.
Yeah, not as consistent as the Life Puro, unfortunately.
And how are the numbers though? Like in terms of viewership among all platforms?
Numbers are pretty. So one of my episodes, it bumped me up. So like I was in the top 120 on Apple Music podcast because I had an interview with an artist who is already fairly big. If you're tapped into the like hip hop scene, like if you're somebody who I consider is a hip hop head, you know this guy. His name is Wakai. He's from Baton Rouge. He's done performances in LA, New Orleans. He's done if you kind of know hip hop, there's this guy named Mavi who's really big. He opened up for him on tour. So he came on my podcast because I used to do a hip hop show on the radio, and he heard me randomly playing one of his songs. So he DM'd me and he was like, "Yo, man, I rock with what you're doing." I was like, "Cool," and I was like, "You want to come on my podcast?" And he literally came in the next day, and we tapped in. But that week, so he's really popular. Like he just did a collaboration with Hanes, like the underwear brand, you know what I mean, or the clothing brand. Yeah, they sponsored. Yeah, they sent him like a bunch of because they're doing this. They did this celebration because it's about to be the 50th. This year is the 50th anniversary of hip hop. Hip hop's been around for 50 years this year. Yeah, because it started in '73 in Brooklyn.
So yeah, how do they determine the origin or the birth date of hip hop?
Brooklyn, like I don't know the exact. There's a great documentary on it. I know it was definitely was started in the early '70s. '73. I don't know why they landed on that year. I know a big part of hip hop was there were these blackouts in New York. And because of that, there was a lot of rioting and looting, and a lot of big artists got their equipment from that looting, and they're pretty open about it. Yeah, because it's really expensive, like mixing boards and stuff like that.
Especially back then, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, back then, but especially a lot of these because I mean, hip hop at the end of the day was started in neighborhoods, African American neighborhoods, Puerto Rican neighborhoods that didn't have a lot of money. And so they didn't really have too much opportunity and stuff like that. So they got it where they could, and that was when these blackouts happened. But I don't know why 73 is the exact year that Hanes put on it. But I know that. So he just got that collaboration like right after we did the podcast. And they did a whole commercial with him. They sent him like a bunch of white Hanes cotton t-shirts. Like they posted him on his Instagram. He was on the Hanes Instagram. Like it was,
how many followers does Hanes have?
I couldn't even tell you right. Probably a couple hundred thousand. Like that's a name.
That's a name. It's substantial.
Yeah, that's a like you'd say
name brand.
Most people know. Remember they used to have the commercials with the fruits on them?
Yeah.
That's the same brand. I don't think they.
No,
do
that's not Fruit of the Loom.
Is it not Fruit? Oh, that's Fruit of the Loom. Okay, I like to see what happened to Fruit of the Loom.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder if those commercials.
Hanes was I think Michael Jordan. I think Hanes sponsored Michael Jordan.
See, okay, all right, I didn't know that. But what?
I think. Don't quote me.
The Fruit of the Loom commercials were amazing. I wonder if they spent too much money on them. Ran out of money though. It is your move, by the way. I don't know if you're
okay. I was going to ask. But I'm still kind of thinking.
I moved my queen here. I'll just let you know.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
That's why they do. So if you ever seen like professional chess players play, they write down. Well, that's not the only reason they do it. They do it so they can study their games later.
Okay.
Yeah, which is like. That's the only real way to get better at chess, I think, is play a lot and to study your games. Like I read, there's this Bobby Fischer who you maybe heard of. He's one of the best chess players of all time. I have his best 50 games, like a book on them. I've read that book like 5 times and like played the games out by myself to see. Get some insight or like education on that. Well, yeah, because you see like you'll see things. You like chess is really just. If you're a beginner player, like for this field right now, for the position that we're in.
There's like the opening.
Yeah, the opening. Well, you got the opening, you got the mid game, you got the end game. There's different ways to gauge where you're at. But I'm saying, like, I could see a move here that's good, but he could see a move that's good in 15 moves. You see what I'm saying? Geez. Like, it's playing like that. Like, it's playing, like, that's how.
That's when you're, like, how you know you're really good, right? Well, yeah. Is how far you can see it.
And you're able to do in your head. That's why like a good test to see if you're really good is if you're able to play blindfolded. A lot of players, some not a lot of players, but good players will play blindfolded. Oh. So because basically like because all these squares are coordinated there's coordinates for them, right? Like A1, B1, So
how many squares across?
I think it's 8.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
So 8 by 8, 64 different
and it's
squares.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 8.
Okay.
But it starts on yours because you're white, so it's the opposite for me.
Okay.
But so like basically, so if I was blindfolded, you would just tell me your moves, and I would just play it like that. Like I would never look at the board. And I just have to memorize the entire board by positions and position numbers.
Oh,
Some players can do that. There's definitely been people who have done simultaneous games where they play like 10 different people, and they'll play 10 different people blind, and they'll go around.
Gee,
have you ever seen Queen's Gambit?
No, I need to check
That's a
that
great
out.
show.
Yeah.
You should. That's
okay, so it's worth it?
Yeah, if you're into
It's
chess.
on Netflix?
Not even if you're into chess. Yeah, it's on Netflix, I think. Great show if you like good TV.
Okay.
Great show if you love chess. Like
Sure,
I remember that show came out. I was like, this is because actually the games that are in the show are based on real life games. They never mention that, but if you watch the positions, they're based on real life games.
Oh, okay.
Like really,
so for
famous
chess
games.
nerds or aficionados,
Oh yeah,
they would really appreciate that.
well, yeah, just
aspect of the show.
Yeah, because a lot of there are some aspects of the show that are unrealistic, but there are just some aspects. I think
they
it's
got
a great
right.
show. Yeah, they got right for sure. But also, it's just a beautiful. I guess it's my move.
No worries. Yeah.
So I play minute chess, like bullet chess online. That's what like whenever.
Oh, that's at the speed.
Yeah,
chess?
I just play like a minute. I play minute or 3-minute chess when I'm and I'm a demon sometimes. I'll play for like 2 hours straight, and I'll lose like 30 games straight if I'm like just having a bad day and just losing straight. Just like it's some people gamble, they'll gamble everything away. For me, it's chess. I'll just play like 2 hours of chess and 1 hour of 1 minute chess and just tilt.
Yeah.
But no, 1 minute chess. I think.
Yeah, because the protagonist of that show, right? It's a female.
Beth Harmon. That's
So
her
give
name.
me like a synopsis, like what the show, like what the show is about.
Her parents die in a car accident very early. But she's not Batman. So she gets raised in an orphanage, and while she's in the orphanage, she finds out I think like the janitor teaches her chess or something like that, and she finds out she's really good at it.
Okay.
And some people are just naturally good at chess. I was talking about this yesterday with my roommate, because like I know really, I'm not gonna say dumb, but not someone who you would say is objectively like a very intelligent person who are amazing at chess. And I've seen super intelligent people who are not good at chess.
Yeah.
So it's not really like a pure intelligence thing. I think it helps, but it's just like a weird like. I was of the theory that people who are neurodivergent and maybe a little bit who are like on the spectrum,
I was going to ask that.
would be better at chess because it's seeing patterns and you know what I mean, like underlying things. So sometimes I think like one of my friends, he's autistic, he's on the spectrum, and he's amazing at chess. So yeah, he's so much better than me. Yeah, I'm not saying that's the reason why, but I do think that like in the show, she's definitely
on the spectrum.
I don't know if she's on the spectrum. My roommate thinks she's on the spectrum. She's definitely neurotic. I don't know if she's on the spectrum though. Even through, I guess since it's a spectrum, everybody's on it, right? Isn't that how it works?
I don't know.
No, but by the nature of it's a spectrum, then that means that like you have the one part of the spectrum over here is like super autistic in the sense like you know what I mean, like very it's externalized. But then you have people who are on the opposite side who are just not autistic at all because it's a spectrum. So every human has to be on it. You see what I'm saying? So like, it's also like a lot of people think like Kurt Cobain and like super creative people are autistic. I remember I was reading about that a couple of weeks ago. But I don't know. It's just like an artistic thing. I think that's some people think.
But I'm sure like sometimes there is a relationship to someone's chess capacity and I guess their mental condition.
Oh
right?
yeah. I mean,
it's not necessarily like you have to be intelligent to play. I mean, although it can't hurt.
I think it helps. Yeah.
Yeah. I
think it's just a way of thinking. Like it's just like it's like some people are better at in English class than they are in math class. You see what I'm saying? Like it's just
numbers, like the art side of the brain. Versus...
I think it's just some neurons firing in some ways that other people aren't. You know what I mean? I think everybody is intelligent in their own sort of way at certain things. You know what I mean? Like my.
Is it my move, by the way?
What's up?
Is it my move, by the way?
It is your move.
Okay,
sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're good. I castled. So
Because I was thinking about doing the same.
Yeah, you're good. No, so like I have a family member who is, I wouldn't say he's academically smart, for a classroom, but you give him an engine or a car, he can fix it. You see what I'm saying? Like mechanically, a lot of my friends.
Yeah, mechanically inclined.
I mean, I wish I was a mechanic.
Me too.
I know, it's such a useful skill. Or like a cook. Half my family is mechanics, the other half are cooks. I got neither.
Oh.
I know.
Let's see. Okay, I gotta make my move. Let's see.
Is it harder to talk while playing?
For me, it kind of is. I'm not gonna lie. And you said you thrive on multitasking.
It's not even. Yeah, I think maybe thrive. It's kind of like
or you do.
Yeah, it's bad sometimes where it's like I'm doing too much. You know what I mean? Like I thought about this the other day. Like I think if I got transported back in time like 200 years ago, where like there wasn't a shit lot to do. You know what I mean? Like you would just go do work and then go sit in your hut. I don't know. but that's also because I have that attention span. Yeah, you can go that way.
This one?
Yeah, so you go that way, and then your castle.
Yeah.
A good way to know this is so for castling. So this is the short castle, right? Because your king was closer to your rook. But it's the starting position. The long castle is from this way, and the way to know where to put your king is if you long castle, your king can't protect this pawn, so he goes here.
Okay.
That's just an easy way I tell people to remember it. You can't protect that pawn because that's usually the issue of
the
long
castle for the king on this side would be.
Yeah, you would put your king here. You'd put your rook here. This rook.
Okay.
Yeah.
So couldn't you also just remember the king only moves 2 squares?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Two squares. I usually tell people the defensive though because. Like you'll see sometimes, like I'll target this, and then once you castle, I'll attack it immediately. So I usually tell people that just so they're aware of that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Let's see. Go here.
So I need it. Yeah, and look, disclaimer: we were not sponsored by Netflix or the production of.
No,
Queen's
we were
Gambit.
not. We were. No,
just want to get insight into that. So I need to check the show out.
Yeah, just an honest recap of it. I'm a big fan. I think she's a great actor. I think she did amazing in that role. To be honest with you, also like the fashion pieces in it and like just a whole set design. I'm telling you, it's a
what
great.
What time period is that set?
50s.
Okay.
She's not based on a real person. Like she wasn't a real person. There have been very good female chess players, like top tier, but there's never been one that's competed directly for the world, I think, championship. Or the world title, because it's a separate bracket. You have like the women's grand champion and then like the men's grand champion, or maybe I'm getting the term. Maybe it's not grand champion, something like that.
Okay.
World champion.
Top tier. Yeah.
Yeah, like the best.
Champ.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is there a governing body that oversees professional chess?
Yeah,
you want to call it?
Yeah. It's strict. Like FIDE, I think it's called something like that. Or yeah, because it's the best. But there's also different categories. So you have the best classical chess player, which is like. I think it's like an hour-long game, or then you have the best splits speed. You know what I mean? Where it's like 1 minute, then you have 3-minute champion, 5-minute champion. So there's a bunch of different. It's like different category. You know, for racing. You know what I mean? Like if we were swimming, there's different strokes.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know anything about professional racing. Swimming, unfortunately.
Have you ever entered any like professional tournament? Or?
Not good enough.
Okay.
I wish I was. Yeah, but
what does it take to enter one of those? You have to be certified or win some like local or amateur circuit?
So there's different like you can. I think you have to be a certain ranking, get like invitation to get to some of them. You know what I mean? Like I could go. There's ones in Louisiana, like Baton Rouge ones that you go like. There's probably like 3,000 people playing, and then you play through. You know what I mean? And then you get like a FIDE ranking after. I think you have to play like 10 matches, like a tournament matches, and get your ranking. Because there's like an online ranking that you get if you use the popular platforms, but then there's also there's like the official ranking, but that's like the governing body. No, there's a lot of money in chess. Well, not a lot of
for
money.
Those in the top tiers.
Yeah, for like I think they make a couple million a year. But also a big part of it nowadays is streamers. So like Hikaru Nakamura. He was like a top 5 player, and he probably is still a top 5 player. He's a big Twitch streamer now. So during COVID, he started streaming online chess, and he started making a bankroll. Yeah, he actually helped revitalize chess because it's gotten huge recently. And then Queen's Gambit also helped.
So COVID helped, and the Queen's Gambit helped chess.
Yeah, I mean COVID makes sense though. That's when I really started playing a lot. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Not a lot else to do. So
yeah, that's so interesting.
But so here we are in this position. How are you feeling about this?
I don't like it. Like that last move.
Yeah.
That pawn really, I think, just disrupted.
Well, why did you didn't have to take it? You know what I mean? What was,
I know. I feel like your motive with this rook was trying to
force my way through.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, he's trying to get in. So I gotta be offensive then.
No, that's fair.
Because the other was just all right. Let that pawn take my pawn.
True, and then
just have this.
Yeah, and then it all opens up. Yeah, no, I'm not saying you're wrong. I was like asking people what their plan is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's so many. Like sometimes I'll be playing somebody. I was like, oh, dude, I'm about to crush them. And then like their plan that they've been playing for the last 8 moves just rolls me, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you get frustrated when someone less than worse than you?
I get frustrated whenever I lose.
Does like some move that really it was to their benefit, but they didn't realize it was to their benefit.
No,
and disrupts
that's part of the game. No,
it's part of the game, huh?
Yeah, I mean, so one thing I think about, like I do this with my roommate a lot. My roommate doesn't play as much chess as me, so
you don't know how he's gonna play.
Well, kind of, but train.
We got the train.
We got to figure out like a like a Chinese fire drill where you get out of the car and you run around. We got to figure something out like that for this. But no, for chess, I don't really try to calculate that in. Like, so sometimes like there's a move here that I know is a good move if you don't see like the response to it. You know what I mean? Like I know a good player, not saying you're not, but I'm saying like a certain ranked player would be able to see that, right? Yeah. But I know that you probably won't because you're not as good. So like that's sometimes I'll factor stuff like that in, but I usually just try to assume that they're gonna play the right move. You know?
Yeah. So I used to play a lot of poker, and I would have to account for that because I feel like I'm a better poker player than chess.
Yeah.
Where if I know I'm playing someone lesser skilled than myself, and they happen to maybe, indicate some good move, but maybe they don't. But sometimes those are the hardest players to play because you don't know how they're not playing, I guess, quote unquote, correctly.
Okay, so chess is definitely like that. Where lower ranked players don't know the meta, like they don't know the best moves, so they kind of play these random moves. And when you play a certain high level of chess, the beginning of the games are always the same. Like top chess players, they could play the opening we just did, the first 12 moves, they would just throw it out because they know exactly what to play because it's been calculated, right? But for bad players, they don't know, so they kind of just like throw random stuff out to you, which can be dangerous because you don't know, like you've never done that before.
Bad players don't know if the move is bad or good.
I usually don't think that's an issue though, because usually a better player will be able to calculate better, like from any position. Like one of my favorite things to do is I go on chess, like chess.com, which is the app. They have an app for your phone, and they have these daily puzzles where they'll just show you a position, and you have to pick the next move. Like it has to be the right move, or you just lose. And I like to do those. I usually try to give myself 10 seconds to find the right move. That's another way that I think people can definitely get better at chess, is just puzzles, And
I guess volume, right, of play.
It's all, frequency of play. It's just really just because you really just like, you need to train your brain how to see certain patterns and stuff like that. It's really,
just like anything else, more exposure, more frequency.
Practice makes perfect. But so for you really here, I'd be thinking about, again, you know what I mean?
I got to use my queen, I think.
Yeah. Or what was like, I always tell people, if you don't have a set plan, just look at what my last move was and then try to figure out, like put yourself in my shoes. Yeah. Like what my motive was for that. Yeah. That's usually a good place to start, I think.
That's a good tip.
Like, so yeah, in this position, you have some solid moves. Moves that could activate a bunch of pieces. That's another thing I would think about is like, which of my pieces aren't doing anything? You know what I mean? And how can I activate, like, is there a move that I could do that could activate multiple pieces at once? Because if you can do that, then you're good. You know what I mean?
All right. I do remember, I think the last tip that you gave me that really
that was the best move, by the way. That was the move. Was it? Yeah, that was a good move.
All right. Was make every move have something with like purpose? Yeah. Or something to that effect.
But you don't want to waste a move. You know what I mean? Like it's like wasting a day in real life. You know what I mean? I do that sometimes. I'll just sit at home and play some video game all day, and it feels good in the moment. But at the end, you know what I mean? Like it's just like, oh, I just wasted a day. Yeah. But I guess that's I'm one of my Gen Z. I don't really know. That's just
throwing some philosophy there.
That's just the 2002 me speaking.
Damn, that was a good move on your part, I feel.
Oh, that it kind of blocks you off in a couple of different ways. But so like some people, so like one way that, if you ever play a lot of better players, one thing you'll notice, I definitely noticed this when I first started playing like at the LSU Chess Club, is it's like playing against a boa constrictor. Like you will slowly get constricted in the space you control. Because at the end of the day, chess is just controlling space, right? And if you don't control as much space as I do, you have less opportunities to move. You know what I mean? Like, because if I can limit you to move to 2 squares, I know what squares those are. I can kind of. Basically, I'm limiting your options. You know what I mean? And you never want your options limited when it comes to a game plan, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I love playing. And it's a nice. I remember when I first started working here, this was one of the first things I noticed was a chessboard out in the lobby. I was like, damn, that's So I wonder if someone in here is a chess aficionado.
Yeah, you wonder, is it just for like decor, or do they actually play chess?
Hey, either way, I know some people. I mean, a lot of people do have decor, like things that are supposed to be functional, but just decor. You know how many people I know in my other job who collect records but don't have a record player?
What?
Hey man, live your life.
Yeah, I know, but like, what would the purpose of that be?
Because it's
besides like collecting for like flipping.
Well, I'm one of those. So I collect for myself, but also like
for
I'm a big
investment purposes.
Yeah, I'm a big record collector. I think I have about 150 right now. But those are curated. Like I go through and sell some old ones. You know what I mean? Like depending on what the market is. But like I had a Led Zeppelin 2, like an original Led Zeppelin 2, but I already have one. Like I had two of the same ones, so I resold the second one for like $45. You know what I mean? Because records go up are good money now. Like you can get a solid record for like $40, but like a rare one, like I have one that's worth $300. It's a Peter Green in Disguise. Peter Green was the founder of Fleetwood Mac, and he did a solo album called In Disguise, and I have an original version of it, and it's like worth $300.
Oh, is that you were telling me once about there's Fleetwood Mac?
Yeah, there's
I guess the pop version.
So they weren't super poppy. I've been listening to that version. So there was 3 versions of Fleetwood Mac. You had the blues Fleetwood Mac. Like Peter Green started Fleetwood Mac, but then he took too much LSD in Germany. He went to like some like, I don't know if it was a cult, but I don't know what you call them.
Like a commune?
A commune, yeah. It was a commune. He went to a commune and it just took way too much LSD, and so he started to hate the idea of money. And so he started giving away all his money, like from the band and everything like that. And he just really like wasn't showing up at shows on time and stuff like that. So he like stopped. Like he started the band because people talked about him like he was the next Eric Clapton. Wow. Yeah. He actually. Well, I think they were actually kind of tight because I think they're both from the UK. But anyway, Peter Green started Fleetwood Mac, and then he left, and then they got a second guy. So there was a second iteration of the band. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. They had some good albums from there, and then they had the popular version with Stevie Nicks and what's the guy's name? Her boyfriend. I can't remember his name.
I don't know.
But but the guy she was dating, Buckingham, Lindsey Buckingham, I think it might be his name. Then he was in the band, and that's when they had like Rumors and The Chain and like all the songs that you hear by Fleetwood Mac. That was in like the 70s though, maybe in the 80s, which I'm not knocking that. If you're into that, that's cool, but I'm into like blues music. And so, so Fleetwood Mac, like Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac is the best version of Fleetwood Mac in my opinion. And I'm pretty opinionated about that at KLSU. All right, let's see. Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you about your origin story. Where'd you grow up? Your details growing up?
Yeah. Okay. So I was born in Nashville, Tennessee, but my dad is military. My dad is a bomb technician was a bomb technician in the Air Force. So if you've ever seen the movie Hurt Locker, man. Like basically he defuses bombs, like the guys in the big bomb suits. That's what my dad did in the Air Force. So he was in Iraq and did that. My mom is a social worker, so she, she does that. But I grew up in Florida, Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina, where else? Tennessee, I guess a little bit, Louisiana. That's where I ended up here. But yeah, so I live like I don't really have like one place I call home, I guess. But I guess if I had to, it'd probably be Panama City, Florida, because I spent like 6 years there as a kid.
Okay. But
yeah, that's my origin story. My parents met at University of Tennessee, Knoxville, and they had me. So
And what brought you to LSU?
My dad was stationed in Shreveport at Barksdale Air Force Base, so I spent my last 2 years of high school there. My sophomore year, my junior year, I graduated a year early from high school because I went to a really small school. I'm gonna say the name, Benton High School. It's fucking nerds there.
That was in Shreveport.
Shreveport's the city. North of Shreveport is like Benton. So my dad, my dad wanted to drive 45 minutes to work because he didn't want us to live in Shreveport because he thought it was a shitty city, which I'm not saying it is, but I'm not saying it's not. But we lived like it was kind of in the Hicks, to be real with you. Like I drove by cows to get to my school every day, and so I went there for 2 years, hated it. So I graduated a year early because it was like such a boring town. Shout out them for real. But yeah, so I had TOPS, so I went to LSU because I was kind of my options were either go to here or LA Tech because I didn't want to pay out of state, so.
Yeah,
I didn't want to go to LA Tech. I don't know if you've ever been there to Ruston.
No,
it's just like Benton. It's just like
it's more rural,
very rural. And I'm not knocking rural stuff. I'm just not like my interests don't align with that. You know what I mean? So I'm just not like I don't hunt or anything that.
You're a city boy.
I'm a city boy, which means something completely different. I don't even. Do you know what city boy means nowadays? So city boy nowadays means
Is that bad? Does that mean something bad?
Not bad. More like a promiscuous fella,
really?
Yeah, not a promiscuous, but like a guy who has like a lot of girlfriends. Yes, that is what a city boy. So like,
really,
yeah.
I had no clue.
So it'll be like city boys up, like if you like. say like I had a friend who was like, I don't even know, like it's just like toxic, just like, but not like a bad way.
Machismo? Masochist?
Maybe.
Or not masochist, but misogynist?
Not a misogynist. Like it's not like nothing disrespectful towards women. It's just like you have a lot of girlfriends. Like you're just you're a playboy. You're a playboy. Yeah.
Not polyamorous, but like.
Definitely not polyamorous. But
yeah.
like you just have like a lot of girlfriends. It's kind of like. I've given up on the cigar. I think this burn. I think I messed up. I'm gonna smoke this one. I'll see.
No,
if I
you know what? You can
or cut it.
Don't worry. But yeah. Let's toss
I'm
that.
gonna smoke this
Let's
one.
do this
now.
one. But yeah, let's I want to get back to that because I'm very intrigued. It's just the whole notion of like phrases and words that change over time and different meanings. Like when I was growing up, this word X meant this, but now it could be offensive.
Well, that's really.
But I guess that's a natural progression of language.
No, 100%. Because of course, like something has to exist in like an innocent state for someone to get offended at it, right? You know what I mean? Like in the sense, like, because most words that people get offended about nowadays are just words that. But
like, who assigns like meanings and
just like memes and stuff like that? Like City Boys is from like that's from social media. Like I don't remember who. Might have been some rapper. I know Future might have said something like that. Where it's or like, have you ever heard like "She Belongs to the Streets"? Like you never heard that?
The song is a song.
No, so okay.
Or the phrase.
Yeah, you know the
"She belongs to the streets."
She belongs.
To me, it sounds like a woman who's promiscuous or
that's what
streetwalker.
She belongs to the streets. So like that. So there's
a prostitute.
So not really. Like it's like so. There's a rapper named Future. One of my favorite rappers. He's from Atlanta. He's a real cool.
Is that Mask Off?
Mask Off, yeah, him. So real cool.
I'm not that old.
No, I know. So he's a real cool dude. But there's a video of him in a car, and his friend points the camera at him. He goes like, "She belongs to the streets," and so now people use that whenever they're talking about like if I had a girlfriend and I came home and she was hanging out with like 4 of my closest guy friends, like. Or like if I had a girl who like cheated on me with like 5 different guys, my homies would be like, "She belongs to the streets." But that's more like a serious one. Like another one would be like I don't know,
not necessarily a tomboy, but
no, not a tomboy, just a girl who like is not like I don't know how to say it. Not like very
she's promiscuous,
but I don't always because I don't really think of promiscuity in a girl is bad. I mean more in the sense of like she's disrespectful about it. Like she's just not a good person type stuff. Like
not
you know
loyal.
what I mean? Not loyal. You know what I mean? Not girlfriend
and
material.
That could be man or women, but
no,
in this
100%,
case,
yeah.
No, now, could a man belong to the streets, or is that phrase?
Yeah. No, nobody uses it for guys, but definitely, I think there's different. Like they just call a guy a fuckboy, or just like a fuckboy, or like a city boy, I guess.
So city boy means a promiscuous man now.
I think, that's how I would work.
But maybe for your age group.
No, for sure, for my age. Yeah. Like if you,
because I've said like people my like age, like, oh, you're a city boy or you're a country boy.
I know what you mean by it. You know what I mean? And that's where like, well, because I think also
interpretations.
It makes sense because if you're a rural guy, you have less opportunities because there's just less women out there, right? A city guy has more opportunities because there's more women. Okay. You know what I mean? So maybe that's
the origin.
Yeah. So maybe that's the
all
origin.
right. So let's before you cut.
Yeah. So you
gotta light that side. So to give insight to our cigar people. I'm smoking one of our newest blends called the Serie España.
Yeah, I don't even know what this is.
That is a pre-band version of a blend we're working on.
A pre-band?
Yeah, or I guess, like a pre-release version.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is like exclusive.
Yeah, it's our blend. It's made for us by Tabacalera La Isla. I won't give the name of the brand just yet.
Okay. You want me to wait until I smoke? You're gonna give me
you can smoke it out. Yeah. But this is gonna be one of our like more higher, like our highest quality blend to date. That's our own blend, our brand.
When's it releasing?
And just be sure to finish
to get the whole Vitola.
The whole foot. Yeah, and so we're excited about this blend. We basically got a batch in just recently, so we can kind of smoke it every so often to see how it's aging.
How have you felt about it so far? Like, are you?
I like it. I think it has very good potential to do well. I know it sounds biased, but like we've tested several different blends, and it's a long process. The blend?
Like who was like?
Well, okay, so in our industry, there's so much controversy when someone says, "Oh, I'm a blender." Look, we're not blenders. We just told the factory these are kind of the profiles we're looking for. We might reference other brands and say, "Hey, look, we kind of want it to smoke like this." We didn't really care about the tobaccos used as long as for us we're looking for a particular taste.
What factory?
Tabacalera La Isla. It's a small boutique factory in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, that's cool. Have you been?
Not yet. No. But the owner, Hostos, has invited us, so we're trying to plan a trip, hopefully in the first or second quarter of 2024. I was hoping to go this year, but we just had so many other things going on.
Does he speak English?
Oh, yeah.
Does he want to be on a podcast?
He did say, yeah, he would. But we might have to go over down there.
Yeah,
so,
I understand, man.
Block out your
block out.
schedule
Hey,
first.
once I graduate,
Yeah. And you're graduating when?
Hopefully in 2 months. I'm gonna go double check
Nice.
my professors next week. No, I'm pretty sure I'll be good. There's one class I've been slacking off in, to be honest with you, but I'm pretty sure I'll graduate.
Okay.
That's one thing. I've never been a good student, even though I graduated a year early from high school. I've never been a student who like does his homework on time, or is just like kind of a slacker when it comes to like academics. Like I'll take this test seriously and I'll take learning it seriously, but like the menial work, I've never been able to do it.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but I don't know.
Yeah, but to answer your question, block out your spaces first or second quarter.
I'll do that. I would love
we
to.
might take you on a trip so we can.
Would love
I'd
to
like
go.
to do a podcast recording from his factory.
No, we could
And
definitely.
he said, yeah, that's fine.
We
That's
can
no
make
problem.
it'd probably be a beautiful visual. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I've never been anywhere besides Mexico, but I was in like Cozumel. You know what I mean? Like in the
touristy part, I
Yeah,
guess.
the touristy part, which I remember. But I was still nervous. I remember we got on a tour bus to go like an hour or two away, like to go see some of those pyramids. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And the entire time I was nervous just because like I know the
The
touristy
danger aspect?
Yeah, because I'm not saying Mexico is like a super dangerous place, but I'm not saying it's a safe place. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I think it's a little.
No, I have friends in Mexico, and no, it can be kind of hairy in some spots. Even touristy spots like Cancun have had some issues with drug activity and the cartels. Yeah, and so it could be. And I'm not trying to scare people away from going to Mexico because I think Mexico is one of the
I think the
best
beautiful
countries.
culture. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very diverse,
Yeah.
like different regions of Mexico. So yeah, just unfortunately the drug and cartel thing is.
I saw something recently. People were comparing modern day Mexico. Is it your move? I think it's your move.
It's my move.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I'm taking
No,
so
you're good.
long.
No, you're absolutely fine. People were comparing modern day Mexico and the climate with the drug cartels and the topography and the geography of it to Afghanistan in the sense of like, because the warlords in Afghanistan, they were very much isolated. They could hide away in mountains, you know what I mean, by themselves. This is how the landscape was. Kind of similar to the Mexican cartels. And like, there's isolated pockets, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure there's a good amount of mountains and stuff in Mexico, you know what I mean? Or places where they can kind of isolate themselves, right? There's that. And kind of these little armies that the cartels have are on the same or even better than the Afghanistan, like the Taliban forces we were going against. So I'm saying that I was reading this online where people were comparing the two and we're saying it was like, I feel like a lot of people we're not really taught how dangerous it is because it's so close to the United States and the United States.
And we're so sheltered from as a people, right? As a citizen.
And the United States will never get involved with the cartel, I think, or I doubt we will because.
What do you mean, like attack them?
Yeah, we'll never.
When you say get involved, you mean attack them?
Yeah, like just try to solve that issue because at the end of the day, the issue is I think it starts here.
Yeah.
To a degree, you know what I mean. A big part of it is the drug.
Consumption. I mean, it starts with U.S. consumption.
If you don't have consumers, you know, like I think, you know. Also, you're in check, by the way.
Oh man, this is good. This is a good move.
So how is this? So is this bigger than most cigars? Like an average cigar? This is a pretty big size.
So what you're smoking is a 6-inch by 52 ring gauge cigar. It's essentially a Toro. Is what we call a Toro format. And that's that's one of the best selling sizes. So for us in our stores, the Robusto format, which is an inch less, is our best seller.
Yeah.
Then it's the 6-inch by 60 ring gauge, so a little bit fatter than that.
Okay.
And then that would probably be our third best seller.
Okay.
In terms of sizes.
How long should this last somebody? Or does it depend on the blend?
The average smoking rate is about a puff a minute. That'll probably last about 50, 55 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Maybe longer.
When can I get a 10 by 10 or a 10 by?
Oh gosh. 10 by 10 would be a long but really skinny.
Oh, okay. So
you're talking about that 10 by 100?
10 by 100.
Yeah. No, you don't want to smoke that.
That's too much.
Yeah.
Could you handle that? Extreme. You could handle it. You know
Maybe,
what I mean?
but it's not an issue.
You don't
of
think you'd enjoy it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, anyone can try to smoke that, but yeah, there is a cigar that we're waiting for from Aganorsa, which is going to be a 10-inch by 100 ring gauge, so almost close to 2 inches in diameter.
Yeah,
that's extreme.
Who were you talking about that with? Was that with
Ryan Poehler?
Yeah,
Ryan Poehler. Yeah,
y'all should check out that episode if y'all have not already.
Shameless plug. I like it.
Hey, listen, might as well.
Yeah.
But.
Oh no, I can't move there. Oh
yeah, there's limited.
There's only one. I think there's only one option for me.
Yeah, there's one good option.
Okay, one good option.
You can do what you were about to do, but I think you saw why that was not a good option. But
there's only either move the king here. or attack him there. If I attack him there, you're a rook, and I'll be in the same spot. So I got to do this.
So the issue with this move is I go here, and I check you. Again. I check you 2 different ways.
Oh my gosh!
But the bigger issue is what I am also attacking with my knight.
Because you're gonna get my queen. Damn. Yeah. See, I knew like from the get-go, like that move was like, this is going to be a problem. So, yeah, so
I'm
move
pretty
ahead.
sure. See, this is
it's
the part.
Over. It's
well, it should
if
be.
You move your rook here, I can't kill him, but I can get him there. Yeah.
Well, you can. Let's see. What's? I think what I have to do is.
So while you're thinking about it,
I think I just go here.
I'll finish explaining the cigar I'm smoking. It's the Serie España Cordoba. It's our 3rd release from the Serie España series, which is our own line of cigars made by any particular factory partner of ours.
So if you were talking to somebody my age who doesn't smoke cigars, right, and who's open to it but is not sold on it, you know what I mean? Like, what would you? Like, what's how would you market that? Like what are the benefits of smoking cigars? I guess.
Oh, like the reason why anyone would want to smoke a cigar? Maybe if I'm talking to someone new or who's like curious about cigar smoking.
Yeah.
Really, it's about enjoying a product, like the flavor of it.
Yeah.
And just the whole ritual of it. So
is that how you got into it? Or how did you?
Yeah.
First...
I guess I was kind of an old soul. So I first started smoking when I was really young, underage, 16. And I just fell in love with just the whole culture of the cigar, of the handmade cigar.
Well, because your family is, your dad, right? Or
well, actually, no. I mean, he and I got into it. Yeah. I was actually the one, I guess, who was the origin or like the motivation behind. Yeah. Because he never smoked. He didn't really, I don't think he ever smoked cigars before I did. And so I kept it hidden that I was a cigar smoker until I was probably about 21.
They found out?
Came out, I guess, to the family.
Came out of the closet, yeah.
Yeah, as a cigar smoker. And they didn't have a problem with it because my mom also was a cigarette smoker at the time.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I guess they really couldn't, even though they probably didn't like it, but they couldn't really argue it.
I feel like cigars aren't as
bad. And that was my whole
Not saying
point.
cigarettes are terrible, you know what I mean? Not saying they're great. But.
And we're not saying that cigars are good for you, but they really couldn't argue that, I shouldn't smoke.
Yeah.
And, I just felt that it was a different kind of culture and activity than cigarette smoking.
Yeah, no, I think it is. I mean, I've smoked cigarettes for like a month because of a girl. So I mean, I was into that.
Wow.
She just smoked a lot of cigarettes. I was like super into her, and so I was just hanging out with her a lot. So I always bum a couple off her, and then I just bought my own pack.
Yeah.
It seemed cool. Then we ended, so I was just like, I think I like the
you associated a negative.
Not even that. I think we stopped hanging out, and I just like. I only smoked cigarettes to talk to her. I just didn't like smoking them. It was just more like you know what I mean? It was like a her thing. So I was like, all right, well. I also didn't play
you should have beaten me by now.
Well, the issue is that I needed to get my bishop. I needed because I could have checkmated you if I would have had my queen like on this diagonal already. Because I could have played here, checked you here, and then cut that off. But I didn't have anything predisposed there. I think it was actually here. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think, but I didn't have that set up already, so your king could escape regardless. Like there was no way for your king could have escaped that no matter what.
I had some outs.
Yeah, you had some outs. So basically, what I have to do now.
Because don't go easy on me. Just play like you want to kill me.
No, I'm not. I try not to do that for anybody. Here, we'll go here.
So yeah, to finish, I guess our origin story. I smoked from an early age when I graduated college.
Yeah.
Actually, it was my father who saw a part-time opening in a local cigar shop at Metairie and said, "Hey, look, I know you're just taking a break from the summer after graduating.
Yeah.
I actually had a career path in the financial world, and decided to work in a cigar store for the summer. Then I fell in love with it, so I decided to make it a career.
Damn. Well, I didn't know that at all.
I actually visited some Wall Street firms. Like I was planning on maybe moving somewhere in the Northeast, or like Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, But you stayed down south. You know what I
I
mean?
returned back home
Yeah.
just to break after graduating. Just decided to move back home for the summer.
So do you like the South better personally for you? Like living here at least. I mean,
Yeah.
Is there any reason why?
Culture, weather, food, the
It's the
people.
opposite for me. At least for the food, I like the food down
Yeah.
south better.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like there's a lot of. For me, Baton Rouge is in the city. It's a small town. Like it's not
Yeah.
small. It's a large.
It's a very
southern,
rural town.
Yes. Which is not saying that's bad, but
No,
it's
that's just the
slower.
way it is.
It's
Yeah,
slower. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To show you how rural it is, I had a run-in with a coyote this past week.
You were telling me about that. Yeah, in the city.
Yep, in the city.
They're just
Like,
trying to eat your chickens.
Yep.
You would
So-
never hear about that in like a city. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
like in New York City, you would
Yeah.
hear that. But yeah, I had I think it was a few mornings ago. I wake up, my dog's going crazy. I'm like, man, he never goes crazy.
Yeah.
I have a lab. And then I hear the chicken screaming in a way that I never heard him scream.
Yeah.
So I like run to the back window and I could see a coyote next to my chicken coop. And he was just kind of staying there. And I open up the window, like screaming at it. And most wild coyotes, like if they see a human, they run right away.
Yeah.
Like you barely see them.
Yeah.
This one just kind of stayed looking at the.
There's probably somebody fed it a couple times.
I mean, he's
you know
been
what I
used
mean?
to it. Yeah. So he's obviously been in the neighborhood for some time, conditioned.
If you would have shot that coyote, would you got in trouble?
Yeah, I can't discharge firearms in city limits. However,
If they were trying to kill your property, like you know what I mean?
I'd have to ask someone. I don't think legally I can still,
Oh, that's crazy.
unless maybe it's for self-defense. So he wasn't. He wasn't attacking my life. So I'd have to get verification. But just from a safety aspect, I wouldn't have.
Well,
but
if it was your dog, you know what I mean? Like, could you
yeah,
protect
I think
your dog?
I feel. Yeah.
Well, then, you can make the argument that chicken is a pet.
No,
like
but my
a
dog was inside when he was barking.
Okay, yeah,
so,
fair enough. But if your dog was outside and
I feel like I probably
what
have
I'm
legal justification.
I don't know.
To
And I
shoot.
feel like a chicken. At the end of the day, it's an animal just like the dog. So you should be able. Like I'd make that argument.
I'll
like,
have to reach out to the city on that.
It's a pet. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
You know?
And I feel like I probably could have, because I was thinking about like, man, I have a 30-06 rifle, but it just trying to scare it off. Now, if I had a bow and arrow, I think you can actually use that. But again, don't quote me for anyone living in Baton Rouge.
you're gonna
I had
a
to
news
verify.
article next week.
I know.
I saw it on Life Puro, man. Like I thought it was cool. And I was like, all right.
So anyway, like I was screaming at the coyote. He was still there and just kind of hanging out. And then he just decided he jumped a 6-foot fence and was hanging on the fence on the top for a moment.
Okay.
I have picture and video.
That's
of it.
dope.
And then he like jumped. And so where I'm living, there's kind of woods to like convey how like rural we still are in the city. And I could look, I went outside, looked through the fence, and he was just kind of hanging and just kind of walked off.
There's woods through a lot of the city. You know what I mean? It's still like a very swampy area. You know what I mean? Like it's not like there's you can't walk from one side of Baton Rouge to the other. That's just not what you're looking for. Lighter?
Oh, lighter,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean to your point, like this is still kind of a rural country city.
For me, a personal designation for me to be a city is you need to have a reliable public transportation. I do not think Baton Rouge has reliable public transportation. Baton Rouge doesn't even have good streets. So I like you don't need. I ran into 2 potholes today. Like it's these aren't big roads. Like these aren't you know what I mean. Like near LSU, you know where they generate millions of dollars a year, probably more. And there's just major potholes. And they're just kind of like you're SOL. I'm like, all right, well.
And that's kind of like the negative aspect, I guess, of living in the South in general. Maybe not in Florida because they have their streets, I guess, a little bit better off.
Florida streets are dope, man.
Texas streets are great. Well, Louisiana streets, not so
low
not so
taxes.
good.
I mean, that's just. I mean, at the end of the day, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, but I'm saying
cause and effect.
Cause and effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
whatever your opinion is,
cause and effect, man. Education in Louisiana is bad. Everything, public services are bad. Taxes are low. I mean, like it's kind of a no brainer. I never people say that to me, like, oh, we need to fix education, but I want to keep taxes low. I'm like, listen, man, I don't really like.
There's trade-offs.
Yeah, there's
economic trade-offs.
I mean, I don't know. I'm starting to obviously work more and make more like because I was just working like restaurant jobs in college, you know what I mean? But now I'm working more, making money. Like I'm seeing the taxes taken out, and I personally would be cooler paying more taxes somewhere like, well, not really Louisiana because I don't plan on living here long term. You know what I mean? But like if I live somewhere long term, I'm cool with paying more if it meant that the amenities and you know what I mean, like the neighborhood and the like society is gonna be better. But I just don't see that happening in Louisiana.
Unfortunately, the mismanagement,
the cronyism.
Yeah, we had the last guest on one of the gubernatorial candidates.
Yeah, I thought he made some valid points about the cronyism.
But yeah, no, unfortunately, that is the negative, I guess, of living in Louisiana or in the South.
Well, yeah, it's also a lot less, the smaller population, a lot like there's not, it's not really, I mean, if you think about culture and art, not a lot of musical artists come down south unless they have to. There's only like certain, like they hit like New Orleans, maybe,
Right.
you know
Maybe,
what I mean?
yeah.
Maybe, and then Houston. Like for me to go see most concerts, I have to go to Houston or Atlanta, which is
Right.
that's a
Still,
pretty far drive. So I tend not to unless they come to New Orleans or they come to Baton Rouge. I mean, back in the day, like Michael Jackson came to Baton Rouge back in the day. The Sex Pistols opened up their tour in the United States in Baton Rouge at the PMAC. So we used to have.
Yeah.
Not anymore though. So
as I grow older and talk to more locals, because I'm from Metairie, which is a suburb of New Orleans, like a lot of major acts used to come through here.
Yeah.
Like Baton Rouge seemed to be a bigger hotspot.
New Orleans used to be like one of the biggest cities in America. I don't really know enough about the history of that to know what happened. I think maybe just some mismanaged governmental agencies, or I don't.
Yeah, I think I mean there are a lot of factors, but one major factor. Remember, if you talked to Sid Gray, one of our guests, I think maybe he talked about it. There was a great flood or hurricane in the 1920s, and that was like kind of like the first. I guess that would be like the first Katrina.
Yeah.
For New Orleans.
Well, Louisiana is very prone to just a lot more. I mean, just the South. That's also another thing about the South. South has a lot more environmental dangers. And I feel like the North does. Like hurricanes and stuff like that. Obviously, the Midwest has tornadoes and stuff like that. So I'm not really comparing us to them. But if we're talking just like the East Coast, then I think that definitely I don't know. There's
because the Northeast would have their blizzards, I guess.
Oh, I would love to have a good blizzard.
They could have a hurricane. I mean, they've had hurricanes like New York City.
Yeah, they do. But like, so it flooded in New York City recently, but it wasn't even like it was a flood, but it wasn't like any like stuff like that happens in Louisiana, Florida constantly, but nobody mentions that. Because like they'll mention Louisiana, Florida floods when it's really bad. You know what I mean? But like when it's a medium flood, like no one's, because that's just par of living here.
But yeah, not to just lambast living here. I mean, I stay here because I guess the culture, the people, the friends I've developed.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, obviously there could be improvement. So we'll see.
No, 100%. And that's what, like, I always tell people, like, I don't hate the South. I appreciate a lot of aspects of the South. I just know myself personally. I'm just not a very big. I found that I enjoy being in northern cities. I just like the colder climates.
So I was going to ask you if you could live in any U.S. city right now.
Right now,
where
I'm
would
in Baltimore.
Be? Baltimore, okay.
Yeah, I fucking visited it in October for a college radio conference last year. I loved it. And also because I had an amazing time. I got to hang out with a lot of other people who are into college radio. Met a lot of people. Had some good times. Got to go out. That was also like one of the first times I could go out to the bar scene. So that was like the first city where I could go out as like a fully adult, I guess. But it's also near DC, and I got family in DC, so it'd be cool to be near them. Let's see. There's so many moves here.
Disrupted
what I'm gonna do? Check.
Oh,
like that.
Oh man.
Well, actually, that might be. Well, actually, no, it's not yet. It's close though. So let's see. See, that's one thing I always stress on myself is I got to be better at like. Because there's ways to brute force chess games where I could just win the game brute force and just like trade pieces, but I'm trying to get better at.
Preserving?
Not preserving, but just like not needing to take all your pieces to beat you. You know what I mean? Just like beating you in the position. But that's kind of. Because it was almost just checkmate if you didn't have your queen to block there. But yeah, you kind of have to. And then try this. That's also so like a lot of the moves I'm doing, like I was talking about earlier, they're moves to just kind of pin you, like, you know what I mean? Like you don't really have an option to. The more you can limit someone's options, the less they can do. You know what I mean? That's just kind of in general, I guess. Okay. But yeah, no, this is a nice chess set. I was playing chess. I was playing my girlfriend's little brother at chess recently. At their place, they had a really nice chess set too. I don't know. I love playing chess with new people. It's one of my favorite things. Just because I also like. I also enjoy. I just enjoy seeing how people play it or look at the game. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different ways to play it.
I feel you can tell a lot about a person by how they play chess.
You think so?
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I definitely attribute that with poker.
Oh, for sure.
You can tell a lot about a person how they play poker.
I wish I was better. My roommate's a dealer. I LaBerge.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, but now he does blackjack right now. But no, so yeah, I went to LeBurge to visit him. I've gone to a couple other casinos. I always feel sad in casinos. Like I just feel like I don't know. I see so many people in there, and I'm just feel like
wasting their money that they shouldn't.
I can
and
tell.
they're probably
you know
poor.
what I mean? Yeah,
they should be playing. Yeah, I know.
It's just a weird feeling in there. You know what I mean? I just don't. I don't know. I'm just not like there's this movie, a Percy Jackson movie. I don't know if you know. It's like a kid's book. It's about like basically like the Greek god Poseidon. He had a son or whatever. Anyway, based on the books of the first book, the first movie, there's a scene where they go to a casino, but they get stuck in it for years. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's one of those like movie or tropes where it's just like, yeah, they're stuck in this place forever type thing, right? And I felt that way in the casino where I just know people who are like, I feel like because there's no windows in there, you can't really sense what time is, which I know is intentional. They give you free alcohol, which I think is fucked up.
Well, right.
Yeah, which I get it, but like, I don't know.
Oh, as a business model, like the casinos, it's impressive, like what they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, is it moral or ethical? Well, it's legal
also
in the state, but
also,
it can be predatory, right?
Yeah. Also, the fact that you can get kicked out for counting cards, which isn't cheating. It's not cheating. Like it's literally just using your brain, and you can like that's
using math to correctly play.
Yeah, they're using math, and then because they lose because of it, that's crazy to me that they can kick you out for that. Yeah. Like that should be semi illegal in my opinion. But
yeah,
hey, you know,
well, because I used to play blackjack and would read books about it.
Yeah.
Even counting cards isn't like it's not guaranteed that you'll make money. It just increases your chances and at least extends your play longer.
Yeah.
But the casinos have done things to like minimize even like how card counters by having multiple decks. Yeah. Cutting the deck to where you can't play full through. Yeah. I mean,
my roommate can tell you some like the procedures they have and stuff like that is pretty. It's pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie to you. So.
No, it's a weird industry and weird business.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, let's see. I gotta make my move. It's coming to the end. I can feel it.
No, I think you're winning here. Maybe.
Definitely.
I could have played this much prettier though. This is on me. This game has also gone on for we're hitting the 70-minute mark. Like the camera for
okay.
Yeah. So this is we might just play one today. Maybe we can come back in the future. You know what I mean?
Do a follow up.
Yeah. Maybe we have a chess game every month or so or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. We can catch up.
All right. Let's see. Let's make a move.
The best move is the next move. I don't know who said that. Somebody said that. I thought that was super wise. Let's see. Oh, okay. So when I talked earlier about brute forcing things, this is a fairly good example of that. You'll see why in a second. Because like the way I explain to my friends, like so say like if we were matching material, like we had we had the same amount of material.
Oh man, I forgot to account for that night.
But yeah, no, it protects it. Because I thought you were gonna trade. You were gonna take my knight with your king, and then I would have just taken your bishop. So at least you would have won the knight. That's probably the way that I would have played that. So that's actually the best square you could have put it in. You actually insta lose if you put it in the other square.
Because you really don't want to keep your king against the edge. Well,
you lose instantly if you move there. Because I do this.
Oh,
and so what I would do here is I would go here.
This is the end.
Yeah. Well, no. See, okay. So that was the best move. Because So that's what I'm saying. There's like. A lot of people, like, I always tell people, don't quit when you're down in material because you can always win. You know what I mean? Like, there's always a way to still win the game if you really want to.
But if I'm going down,
because all it could take from you is like one bad position from me. You know what I mean? Like, because it's say you can't do this right now, but say if you had a rook that could just move right here, you would win the game because I can't block it with anything. You would just win. That's called a back rank check. I've lost a good amount of games off that because it's common to castle your king and to have all your pawns just sitting here, but it kind of traps your Drops your
It's
cue.
probably a wasted move because now you're moving your rooks, and that's checkmate, huh?
that is checkmate because it is a classic ladder mate.
Before we do, let's do the final puff. I know we're working on the now it's 5 questions.
Yeah, so hit me.
The first question: Tabasco, Crystal, or other hot sauce?
Crystal. I like Crystal. I've tried it recently. I've been a fan. I'm not really a big hot sauce guy, but I do like Crystal every so often on my burrito.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite travel destination so far?
So far, and Baltimore. And Baltimore was beautiful. What a beautiful city. There was so much history and culture there, and it was just like I had such a good time. That was the city boy days. Those were I was a fun time, man. I was there for 5 days for the college radio conference, and I was in charge too of like my little like everybody I brought. So we had our own hotel room. So it was like
cool.
They put us in a nice hotel like at the conference center, like right next to the Oriole Stadium. Super nice. I got to eat all types of Ethiopian food, Afghani food, some other types of food. I can't remember the name of it.
Pretty diverse, huh?
Yeah, very diverse. Yeah, I went to a bunch of different neighborhoods. I was like walking the city every day. Like I walked around all of Baltimore. I walked through the hoods. I walked through the rich neighborhoods. So the public transportation
is better there?
It's good. Yeah. The only thing about Baltimore is sketchy as fuck sometimes. Like there's like there were some neighborhoods where it's like where I didn't take some of my because I went with a couple girls. You know what I mean? There was 3 girls and 2 guys I went with who I probably wouldn't have been. Like if I was walking, if one of the girls walked through the neighborhood by herself, I probably would have been like afraid for her at night. You know what I mean? But as a guy and like with other dudes, I was. Yeah. Who also doesn't have like any flashy thing or any money? You know what I mean? Like rob me, bro. I got like $5 and
no crime of opportunity here.
Like, you know what I mean? You can catch me at an ATM. I'll pull $40 out for you too. Like all right, bro. But no, Baltimore probably that'd be my answer for sure.
Okay, so number 3. If you could smoke a cigar, I know you're still early on in your cigar smoking. But if you could smoke a cigar with anyone,
what was the
alive or deceased?
Oh, alive or deceased. Oh, okay.
And they don't even have to be a cigar smoker.
No, I thought you were asking me the 4th one. Yeah, but the 3rd one. Okay, the 3rd one about who would I want to smoke with?
Yeah.
Ooh, probably like JFK or something. Like the day before, he gets like something like that. I don't know, or like I don't know, somebody crazy, somebody like. I don't know, like Abraham Lincoln. I don't know why I'm only presidents got assassinated, but I feel like that'd be cool.
There's a common theme.
Did you know that John Wilkes Booth, you know that's the guy that killed his brother, saved Abraham Lincoln's son from getting hit by a train? That's a proven fact in the Congress. There's a snippet about that. Yeah, this was before.
So John Wilkes Booth, the assassin of Lincoln, his brother saved the son of Lincoln. He was a famous
actor. John Wilkes Booth's entire I think their family was known for acting, right? And so they were at a train station, and Abraham Lincoln's son, one of his only surviving sons, tripped in front or almost like fell in front of a train, and John Wilkes Booth's brother saved him from it.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's like it's on like Congress's website. Like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I just saw it like probably like a week ago. Maybe John Wilkes Booth. I probably talked to him. Just to see what's up with his brain.
What was his motive? Like, man.
Yeah, just like I think he was mad the South lost, but I think he was from the North, so I don't really know.
Yeah, we have to do some research. We'll do a follow up.
Yeah, John Wilkes Booth. That's my answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I know again you're still smoking
the
cigars.
red Camacho. What was the red Camacho?
Your Desert Island cigar.
Yeah, what was the red Camacho? That was
the Camacho Corojo.
That one. That was a nice. I really enjoyed that. I smoked that by myself in my backyard. I have a real nice backyard now at the house I live at. And it was on a sunny day. It was kind of a day like this, where it was cloudy out, and I just smoked it. It took me like probably an hour, and it was a nice smoke. First time I smoked a cigar, and I was like, I'm into this. Like I was like,
the Camacho Corojo.
Yeah.
And then now we're working on the 5th question. What podcast guest would you like to hear on this show?
There's this rapper that's coming on SpotCheck in like 2-3 weeks. His name is Thursday.
Okay.
I just think that he's one of the most insightful people that I've ever talked to. The super friendly, super insightful. We talked about amazing, beautiful things, like just as friends.
What's his name? Thursday?
His name is Thursday.
Okay. How old is
27, 26. I don't know.
No, actually, he's from Baton Rouge?
Yeah, from Baton, probably 23, 24, actually. I think he told me his age. I met him through a couple of my hip hop friends. He makes amazing music too, really cool music, super underground, like super unknown. Okay. But if you talk to any rapper in Baton Rouge, they know who he is. Yeah, he's like your favorite rapper's rapper. You know what I mean? Like super cool. Probably him. He's just he's a friendly guy.
Okay, and he's gonna be on your show.
He's gonna be on my, yeah. So maybe
how many weeks from now?
We got to record it, so probably probably in the next month. I don't know, some point. I'm kind of
so that's SpotCheck is the podcast?
Yeah, SpotCheck podcast on Instagram. It's inconsistent at the moment. I've been trying to, like you were saying earlier, I do want it to continue, but I got to figure out.
Well, once I'm sure you graduate.
Once I graduate, all I need is a camera. I already have a studio set up for it at my new place. I found I talked to my landlord. He was cool with it. So like I'm gonna start recording there commercially. But cool. Yeah, Thursday, that'd be my answer.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, does he smoke cigars?
He smokes weed. I don't know if he smokes cigars, but
he might translate.
Yeah, he likes Optimos.
I like to tell people though who smoke other products, cigarettes or hookah or cannabis.
Hookahs are cool.
Don't inhale.
Don't
inhale cigars.
Yeah, that is a fair. That could be like merch.
What do you mean?
Like a Habana Port merchandise. Don't inhale. Yeah, something like that. No, seriously, like people would learn from that. Like 100%.
Absolutely.
Like a sticker.
Well, Nick, thanks again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate you,
absolutely,
joining us. And,
absolutely.
Thanks everyone for listening. So, we'll have you on at some point in the future. So, everyone, thanks for listening. We'll see you until the next smoke.
Peace out.